My sister-in-law is trying to act like the mother of my baby. I am in a complex situation that I never thought I'd find myself in. My husband and I decided to pursue surrogacy as we were unable to conceive on our own due to medical reasons. His sister, let's call her Sarah, graciously offered to be our surrogate, and we were overjoyed. She has 2 children of her own whose births went smoothly, so we thought it wouldn't be a burden on her body, and since she was healthy we agreed to go further with the process. Fast forward to 6 months ago when our beautiful baby girl was born. We were beyond grateful to Sarah for her incredible gift to us, but that's when things started to get tricky. Sarah seemed to become extremely possessive of the baby, acting like she was the mother. Whenever she would come over to our home she insisted on being present for diaper changing, feeding, and nap time. At first I had no problem with this, but I told her it would be better for her to rest having given birth recently. But she insisted on helping out. But then things changed. She constantly started telling me how to care for the baby as she has more experience. She acts like she knows what's best for our child more than we do. She even started referring to the baby as her baby in front of our friends and family during family gatherings, and constantly reminds them that she birthed my baby and tells people about my fertility issues, saying how unfortunate it is. Naturally, this has caused tension between my husband and me. I've attempted to talk to my husband about it, and while he acknowledges that her behavior can be overbearing, he didn't want to confront her because he's afraid it will strain their relationship. He thinks we owe her too much to criticize her actions. But despite this, I finally decided to have a conversation with Sarah about her behavior. I expressed my gratitude for her surrogacy but explained that it was causing confusion and stress for our family. I tried to explain how her actions were making me feel overwhelmed and that I wanted to establish boundaries as it's my baby. She became emotional and accused me of not appreciating everything she had done for us, reminding me that she was the reason we had a child in the first place. She said I was not understanding the bond she had developed with the baby during pregnancy. After the argument I noticed how some of my husband's side of the family started treating me differently and looked at me differently. I feel so stressed and don't know what to do. Should I have confronted her? How do I go about repairing our relationship whilst still upholding my boundaries? Comnet. And this is the reason to never have a family member be a surrogate. I'm really sorry you're going through this. Was Sil offered counseling after the birth? Was it her egg, or yours, or a donor? I think you have to be firm on how things are going to go from now on. She can't emotionally manipulate you, and yeah, it was a lovely, generous thing to do, but it sounds like she's forgetting she's not her child. So the child has no biological tie to her at all, apart from being an aunt. Was there any counseling involved? I think there should have been something prior to falling pregnant and certainly some afterwards. Are surrogates not supposed to get a psychological evaluation first? It sounds like you have a Sil problem and a husband problem. He should be helping you set boundaries. How would he feel if Sil's husband started acting like he was the father? Your Sil did a very nice thing for you so you could be a mom. However, she is ruining the whole experience that she helped give. Your husband needs to set clear boundaries with his sister. We appreciate all that you did, but you were our surrogate to give us our chance at being parents. If you're constantly saying my baby, it takes away our dignity as our baby's real parents. Which is why we feel it's best we distance ourselves from you for a little while so we can bond with our child. Please set up cameras around your house. I've seen so many stories where the Sil escalates things. I'd also insist on couples counseling for up and husband, go without him if needed. He's not being very supportive. And up if and when you go back to work, put the baby in formal daycare, not with any family member, especially on his side. It doesn't seem like they have a good handle on appropriate behaviors or boundaries. I'd also be very wary of short-term babysitting. Also speak to her husband/partner. Says that you're very concerned about her. She seems to be having some postpartum symptoms, PPA/PPD/PP and she needs to be evaluated. Talk about your concern for her. If you can contact her OB/GYN, then leave a message, can't discuss about having her screened because she is causing concern. I'd also remind Sil that the baby is her brother's. Imply that her declarations are giving incest-y vibes. But I'd save that for last resort. And obviously you know that if you want another baby in future, Sil is not an option. This is why you hire a surrogate. You'll be listening to her play the martyr and throwing her surrogacy in your face for the rest of your life. Your husband needs to get on board with establishing boundaries with his sister. Boundaries are not a criticism after the huge favor she did you. You both just need to be firm from here on out. For every I know best comment you give her the same "this is our baby. We will decide how to raise her and what is best for her." If the family has a problem with that, it sucks to be them. Ask them if they would have tolerated her interference when raising their kids. At this point, I would be considering moving several states away. I would take some space and stop inviting her to your home for a while. It is inappropriate for her to call your daughter her baby. I empathize with her attachment having carried and birthed your daughter, PP hormones etc., but your little girl is 100% yours and your husband's. Stay firm and limit her interactions with your little family for a few months. You can be grateful and recognize the beautiful gift she gave without letting her be so overbearing. Next story 2. Feeling like I should stop trying to have a relationship with my future Mill. Wanted to vent here. My fiancé and I have been together for 6 years. Throughout most of it, his mom has lived with us. He's made it a point that his mom will live with us. My fiancé always says I don't try to have a relationship even though I feel discouraged every time I try. For background info, their family is Mexican and I'm Filipina. I learned Spanish to be able to talk to her more and she always tells my fiancé after I say something tell her I said. Even though I'll respond to her right there. Or she'll openly talk about me in Spanish saying I need to eat less because of my weight gain. I can speak Spanish well enough that I have full conversations with my friends and fiancé's friends. My fiancé's brother has had a girlfriend the past year that she's extremely close to. I always feel bad that I wish I had that close relationship. She's able to speak Spanish with her and hang out almost every day. In all these 6 years, I've maybe only had one lunch date with her. Recently I had a birthday dinner with her and their family. She spent most of the time trying to convince my fiancé he should have a nose job done. This really annoyed me because I don't see the issue with his nose. Then later when she was asking us what's going on in our lives, I told her one of his friends from Mexico is visiting in November. She immediately says then you guys need to lose weight. I didn't realize until later how weird the transition was for that. But she started going on about how we just need to run. I told her it's hard for me because I'm in university, I have an internship, and working full-time. I sleep 4 hours a lot of nights. I work from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and do school and in turn work until 11 or 12 a.m. But she started saying that she always sees me playing video games. Which also frustrated me because she barely ever sees me. Also when I do have free time I will play games because it's what I like to do in my free time. I only get to for an hour a few times a week. Then she'll compare me to his brother's girlfriend being so hardworking since she already has a kid. My fiancé and I gained weight 10 to 15 pounds over the years which I don't feel is a lot. But whether I gain 10 or 50 I feel like it's not her place to talk like that. I've never had anyone in my life tell me to lose weight besides her. I just feel hurt right now because it's like that's all she sees of me. I talked to my fiancé about this and he says he'll talk to her. But I don't know. I just needed to vent this out here because I feel like I have no one to talk to. Comment. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life like this? So seems to think it's okay to treat you so disrespectfully then stop all communication with her and make him deal with her. You really just need to get out. Not sure how old Mill is but just think of dealing with her for another 30 plus years. Run. Your fiancé has to step up, do not marry this guy and live with her without this being addressed first. She can talk to him however he and she want but to call you fat do not allow it. Also she knows you speak Spanish, it is a power move from her end. And stop giving long explanations just let your fiancé answer, it is his mom after all. Does he see how she treats you? If not, he needs therapy to see it, if he will go. Does he want to understand how her treatment of both of you isn't healthy or normal? Does he want to stand up to her but doesn't dare, because of finances or living circumstances? If he wants to join you and chance things, the two of you can do this. It's hard, because he would have to unlearn so much from his childhood and relearn normal skills to replace them. And he would have to change his view on his mother living with you. Abuse negates his obligations to her. She's abusive. This MILF is going to keep on doing these power plays at you, teaching you that she's in control, and that you are supposed to be compliant and not even allowed a voice. Whether you stay in a relationship with him or not, you need to live someplace that is safe from your MILF. A place she's not allowed to even come in and visit without your invitation. What she's doing to you is abuse. Please work out how to leave that living situation. I'm guessing that when he talks to her, It's only going to make it worse for you there, because she will see it as him, or you, objecting to her being in control. And MILFHs escalate when they think they are losing control. So, figure out how to move to a safe place. Or how to kick her out, whether he goes with her or not. Yes, that means he has to choose between her and you. Most people will choose their future, not their past, when given that choice. That's the whole point of a wedding ceremony, to make a new family for the future, and let the old one become less important. Figure out how to save yourself from your MILF's abuse, by not living with her again, however you can get out of that situation. Invite him to come with you, or to stay when MILF is kicked out. But save yourself, whatever his choice. It's a lot easier to dump a mama's boy fiancé than it is to divorce one. He is too enmeshed with her to ever grow up and be his own man. Please run. If he truly believes that you both will live with this rude and tactless woman, you are doomed. It will get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and so on forever. Don't even get me started on how much worse she'll be if you have children. Move on and be glad you dodged the worst bullet known to womankind. Let his next GF become his mommy's whipping post. Let go of the need to have a relationship with this woman. She doesn't deserve one. Your only obligation is to maintain a calm and respectful atmosphere as long as she reciprocates. Considering that she's rude and doesn't mind her own business, you don't owe her even that. I would move out before getting married. If you wait to do this until after the wedding, you may find yourself 20 years later still living with her and your kids calling her mom instead of you. You have more power to do this now, before signing into the family. After marriage, he will feel more comfortable in your relationship and it will be more difficult to get him to move out. Why on earth do you want to marry someone who has told you in no uncertain terms that mommy will always come first? This is your life you are looking at well into the future. Why are you willingly making yourself her punching bag? No man is worth this. Gain a little bit of self-respect and get yourself out of this dismal prospect of a future while you still can. If you stay with him, this will be the rest of your life, well, at least until she dies. Is this how you want to live? I would really think hard about this relationship. I know that you have invested a lot of time on it. But that doesn't mean you have to stay. Good luck. You're going to need it.